Hello there, my name is Ashley, and today I'll be talking about how I built my March. Let's get right into it. She has 3,133 HP, 1,574 attack, 4,190 defense, 103 speed, 16 over 73 crit rate crit damage, 16.8 break effect, 120 max energy. Her energy regeneration rate is 100. She's got 19 effect hit rate, 38 effect resistance, and 22.4 ice damage bonus. Now for the light cones, I have her on Journey Forever Peaceful, which is a Battle Pass light cone. So, yeah. You could also put her on day one of my new. Frankly, I think you could probably put her on most of the defense light cones. Most of them are pretty straightforward in as they give you more defense percent, or they make it more likely for you to get hit, or they just help you support some as a defense character. So I'd say you could probably put her on any, but my favorite ones are, the one I have her on is Journey Forever Peaceful, then day one of my new life, Longdow's Choice, which makes them more likely to be attacked, and the damage taken is being reduced. And then Moment of Victory, which is Japard's signature light cone. You could probably put her on this one, and this one would probably also work pretty well, giving her some attack, which would be nice. I wouldn't say there's any 3-star light cone I particularly like. You probably throw her on whichever, without it being that big. But those are my top choices for light cones that you could put her on. Talent, trace-wise, per usual, I'd say go around and do these branches first as you can. Then I would do her E, which is where you get her shield off of, her alt, and probably her talent. Honestly, probably her E, her talent, her alt, and then her base. With the tree bits being first, not much to it. Her E puts a shield on people. Her talent allows you to counter people who get a for counter and deal damage to characters that attack shielded characters, and her ultimate just does a bunch of ice damage and has a chance to freeze characters. Relic-wise, I personally have her on a 4-piece of Shelf Enshrouded Recluse. You could probably also put her on a 4-piece of Knight of Purity Palace. And frankly, these are the only two I'd really bother putting her on. You could also put her on this set, but I don't care as much for it on March. For stat-wise, I would say the chest plate and the boots, I would just do defense percent, but you could probably put attack percent on one of them, given the fact that if you want her to do more damage, I just put her on flat defense. The same goes for the planar set. You could do defense or attack, or you could put her on energy regeneration if you want her ult to be up more often. I don't find it matters that much. I mostly use the defense characters for defensive purposes, so I just give her that. Now, substat-wise, I would actually put attack percent pretty up high. I know they don't recommend it, but I don't care. I put attack percent pretty up high and speed pretty high, so she can go more often and redo the shields, because she only shields one person. She does not group shield people. And then probably the effect hit rate next, with effect resistance being under that. Now, the planar sets, I only got 2 for that one being the one she's on, Belobog of the Architects, and then Broken Heel, which should be this one. It increases the wearer's effect resistance, and when it's over 30, it gives crit damage to the team. Which basically, it's just, does her shield do better with more of this? Which I don't even know if she's getting that buff right now. I don't think her effect hit rate is up high enough. No. So I could easily shift her to a different one. I just have her on this for now. It's good enough for me, especially because I don't really actively use March. I have other better shielders, so this is just what I have her on for her to do stuff. Now, idling-wise, her E1 is when her alt freezes an enemy. She regains 6 energy. Her E2 is when she enters battle. She gives a shield that has a strength of 24% of her defense, plus 320 to the ally with the lowest HP percentage. This lasts for 3 turns. Now, if everyone's at max HP, it will give it to the first character in the lineup. Her E3 increases the level for ultimate and her base attack. Her E4 is that her talent can be triggered 1 more time per turn. It can normally be triggered twice. Now, with this, it can be triggered 3 times. And the damage dealt By her talent, by the counter of her talent is increased by 30% of March's defense. Now her E5 increases the level of her skill and her talent, and her E6 is whoever has a shield granted by her skill will gain at the start of their turn. They will gain 4% of their HP plus 106 back. So they'll heal at the beginning of their turn for 4% plus 106 HP, which is pretty nice, honestly. I have an E6 March. Now, team-wise, we're going to be fighting Cocolia for this. I will say just throw March on any team, really. I like March, and her outfit's really cute. I got it back when it was free outfit. Um, but I have her on the team with Anaxa, Sunny, and Cyrene, because that's the team I want to run her on. She's just a shielder. She's just a regular support. She can freeze enemies. Personally, back when I needed to use March for my Armless team, I ended up running her with Japard because I didn't find she shields one character at a time, and if she doesn't go often enough, you're not gonna get sufficient shielding. So you really do want her to. You either need them to be able to tank a lot, her shield to be really, really good, or you need her to have a second sustainer to keep your team alive. She's like the other early stage sustainers and shielders, she wasn't the greatest for long-term survival. You can see, as per usual, I have everybody's ults up. Cyrene is not allowed to have her ult up, so she doesn't. We'll start with support, then use this ult, and that one. I think March has a decent chance of freezing people. She doesn't always do it with her ult. You can see her stacks for her counter right there. Sunny has a shield because he was the first in the lineup, so with her E4, she gave the shield to Sunday, and, you know, it just goes like that. You do want March to have a lot of ease. March is very much a skill point negative character because she very much wants, well, if you want her to be putting shields on everybody, she really needs the E. If you're not so concerned about that, she doesn't really need the E because it doesn't really matter because she's, you know, but that's kind of her point, is to shield people. And, or you could just, have her work to do damage and freeze just the shield as the bonus. I typically only used her for shielding purposes. At least she's attracting a lot of the damage. She doesn't have a shield on her, so she's taking a lot of hits. But she's attracting a lot of the damage from Cocolia. It's Cyrene was hit once, and the rest of it has been on March. Oh, and then she went and hit Minaxa. No. I'm going to go ahead and use her shield, because if you don't know, what part of her shield thing is that it'll actually make it more likely for her to be targeted. Maybe I should put on Maxa. So she is more likely to, she does, put a target on whoever she shields. We're gonna go ahead and do that one first. But like a lot of early game characters, they've just been outpaced by later game characters. Like, I like March, but she really doesn't have much of a use anymore, given that one, I mean, if you don't have, because the other two shielders, Advi and Don Hung Permesor Terre, are both limited banner, but given a few things, one, Danny, I think you can still get Danny, but Danny being a free character, I think he's still up for grabs, but I don't know. And Advi, you can pick him off of the selector, that's out. They're both pretty easily accessed. If you're not, and your only shielding options are March or Japard, you probably gonna want to run them together. Just some advice from someone who ran them both. Or, I don't know, use a healer. Shielders aren't the only sustains in this game. Luckily, we have, like, no shielders, or Fushuan. She's the only shielder I don't have. But in the end, I'm like, I like March, but her usefulness died a long time ago. And by that, I mean when Adventuring came out. Your usefulness died, March. Granted, that's not referring to her. Where's... However you put her in her Harmony form. I don't know where that, I don't remember where that is. I don't swap them that often. But that's not referring to her Harmony form. She's got that. It's just a different character slot for that. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was swappable like the TVs is. Um, but I'd say her preservation form isn't super useful. I mean, again, if you don't have her base outfit, both are so cute. If you don't have her, there we go. That's the thing. And then Harmony her. I don't use Harmony her much either. But if you don't have any other Shielder characters and you really want to run like Yang Qing or Arlen who really benefit from Shielders, you probably gonna end up having to run two Shielders. But that's all really. I really like March, but her preservation form is it got route ranked a long time ago and isn't all that useful. She does have a really cute outfit though. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I mean, have a blessed rest of your day.